Good day. One of the concepts in terms of applied economics that we need to understand is between the absolute advantage and comparative advantage in terms of producing a product in a certain place. So when we say absolute advantage, it is having the ability or capacity to produce more. And when we say comparative advantage, it is using calculations to calculate the opportunity cost or the product that we need to sacrifice for us to produce a certain product. So here is an example of a chart that we need to analyze. So in terms of producing wine, country ABC produce more wine than country XYZ, which is only 8. It is more on absolute advantage, the one that I am giving you as, or the one that I am analyzing. And in terms of coffee, the one that produces more coffee is country ABC than country XYZ, which is only 2. So that is an absolute advantage. But in overall, as you can see, when we add this 9 and 3 in producing both products, I think, and this one country XYZ 8 plus 2 is 10, and we got 12 in country ABC, and country XYZ is 10. So which means country ABC has an absolute advantage over country XYZ in producing wine and coffee. But in terms of comparative advantage, we need to calculate first. We need to calculate first the opportunity cost in producing only wine. So we need to focus first in producing wine in country ABC. So wine ABC, and in country XYZ, wine XYZ. So our dividend in wine ABC and wine XYZ is in coffee, because we need to look for how much they are producing a bag of coffee, if it is lesser or greater. If it is lesser, if that country produces lesser bag of coffee, it means that they produce more wine. So we need to look which one produced more wine. So wine ABC, the dividend is 3, which is the coffee, 3/9. And wine XYZ, the dividend is 2, and the divisor is the wine, which is 8, and here 9. So we need to divide this. 3 divided by 9 is 0.33 or 333 bag of coffee. 0.3 bag of coffee, and while in wine XYZ, 2 divided by 8 is 0.25 bag of coffee. So as you can see in this opportunity cost in producing only wine, the one that has a lesser producer of coffee is wine XYZ, which means wine XYZ has a comparative advantage, or the country XYZ has a comparative advantage in producing only wine. So our answer in producing only wine in a comparative advantage is the wine XYZ. While in producing only coffee, what we are going to do is coffee ABC and the coffee XYZ, because we are in that certain country. The code is ABC, symbolizes the country ABC and XYZ, but we need to focus here on the product of coffee. So opportunity cost of producing only coffee. We need here to look for which has the lesser producer of wine, which means they have the greater producer of coffee. So what we are going to do, instead of 3 divided by 9, because 3 is the dividend in the previous calculation. So here, we need to put the 9 wine in the dividend. So 9/3, the opposite one. And this one, instead of 2/8, it is 8/2. Okay, so we need to compute this. 9 divided by 3 is 3, and 8 divided by 2 is 4. So, in this part, they are only producing 3 barrels of wine. In this part, they produces 4 barrels of wine, which means the coffee XYZ produces more barrels of wine than coffee ABC. They only produces 3 barrels of wine. So in that part, since coffee ABC has lesser barrels of wine to sacrifice, which means they have greater producer of coffee. So coffee ABC has a comparative advantage in producing only coffee over coffee XYZ. Okay? So again, the statement that you are going to write is, at first statement, as you can see, the one that has an absolute advantage is the country ABC, because as you can see, they produces more wine and coffee according to our observation. And then in terms of comparative advantage, so wine XYZ has a comparative advantage in producing wine over wine ABC. So in this case, XYZ has more wine than ABC. And in this part, coffee or country ABC has a comparative advantage over coffee XYZ in producing only coffee. So that is how we are going to identify which has more products, which countries has more products to produce in terms of comparative and absolute advantage. Okay. Thank you.